Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another session on Google Drive. I'm Leon, your tutor for today, and really excited to show you some really cool, a really cool application in Google Drive called Google Forms. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. It's quite an interesting little program because you can really easily create your own forms, surveys, or quizzes. And that's something we're going to be looking at a little bit later today. So really excited to be showing you that. Hopefully everyone's doing well today and been outside and enjoyed the fresh air and the sunshine. Looks lovely out there. And hopefully you can hear me and see me well. Okay. Let's just have a quick see who is on our online at the minute. Give us a shout if you need anything through our chat here. But let's get started, shall we? Okay, let's go. So we're at session 4 today, and we've covered quite a lot of ground since 4 weeks ago when we've done our taster. So let's have a quick look what we've done. We've looked at Google Documents, which was a word processing application provided by Google that comes under the Google Drive brand. And what that allows you to do is to create word processing documents, letters, newsletters, CVs, essays, anything that you need to type or insert some text or anything like that. In a typical A4 format, although you can change the page sizes. But typically anything that's printed out or emailed, Google Documents is probably one of the go-to programs that you would probably use to assemble any word-based documents. So we looked at that in session 1, and if we can quickly go back and have a quick refresh, if I can find our full session, we done a really cool little activity whereby we created our own menu. Let's have a quick look, see if we can find it. Menu. We created an Indian restaurant menu in Google Forms, and that's it. That was one of them there. Okay, and what we did was we linked another application that Google Drive offer, which is Google Sheets, which is a spreadsheet application, and we linked our sheet information, i.e. the prices for the menu. We linked it directly to the Google Documents doc. So if there was any changes that were carried out in the sheets, in the table, on the separate in the separate application, this document here would automatically update. And if I can quickly show you an example of that, let's have a quick look. So this was the more fancier one that we did, and there's a table there. And if I can quickly find you the menu, there's the prices there. And let's say we want to change the prices back down because we realise we're offering rice for 600 quid, and that's a little bit too expensive. Let's say we want to offer it at £4. Hopefully, if everything's set up correctly, let's have a quick. There we go. In this document here, it's asking us to update because it's recognised that there's been a change in that spreadsheet, and if we update them, there you go, the price list for rice number 2 has been changed. So that was a really cool activity we done there. And I think that can be really cool for somebody who's doing something like this, or somebody who is creating a flyer that might have some basic information that you might want to link to a spreadsheet that can update on multiple different documents at once. It's a really cool little thing there. So that's what we've done in session 1. What else did we do? What have we done? Then we moved on to Google Sheets itself in session 2, and Google Sheets is basically that spreadsheet application that Google provide, and we touched on it the previous week by linking this table to the menu that we designed in Google Documents, and we looked at creating. Let's have a look. We've covered so much, I can't really remember. Let's have a look. Session 2. Let's see if there's anything in there. There we go. We've done our monthly finances, didn't we? So we looked at creating our monthly finances, totaling them all up, and trying to work out how much we might have left with these figures for some savings. And we looked at using tabs within Google Sheets to create different months for personal finances to keep a track on our spending. So that was Google Sheets. Then we moved on last week to Google Slides, which was really a really cool session, because we looked at how to create presentations in Google. Now, Google Slides is the equivalent of a presentation style application, a bit like PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. However, this is online, and we can create some cool effect and presentations within Google Slides. And if we quickly go into our Session 3 folder, we create a slideshow where we downloaded images. We downloaded images from a website. I showed you how to also upload them into Google Drive in order to access the images, and how to upload them from your computer up to Google Drive in order to have them available. And then we looked at cropping the images and positioning them, and using the template. This cool presentation here was based on a template that one of the many templates that Google has to offer. So we don't really need to make things from scratch when we're making presentations or documents or even sheets. We can rely on some of the templates that are in already there. And if you go through the file and new section, there's whichever application you're using, there's always a template section there, and they're already preset with different fonts, different colors, backgrounds, and different formats, just to make that document look either a little bit more professional or a little bit more engaging. Obviously, you don't need to use these, but you could use them as a base if you're really under tight time frame here, and you might want to make a presentation or a document, and you don't have time to format things, but you want to make something look as professional as possible. You could use one of these. So templates are really strong within Google Drives. So that was one of the things in Session 3 that we did. We've done our slideshow for our holidays, and then we looked at creating an invoice, bringing in our invoices. That was Session 2. Sorry, that was Session 2, where we created an invoice in Google Sheets. Pardon me. And then we looked at a presentation on how this fictitious company that we've come up with called Upcycling Limited, we created our own presentation here, and using a very starting from scratch. We imported our logos, we changed the background color. We also looked at the master slides section to this, which was really useful. And what else did we do? And we looked at animations and slide transitions. Okay. One thing that we didn't cover last week was, let's have a quick look now. Was important audio and video to Google Slides. So today we're going to look at important audio, certainly. Video is something I need to talk to you a little bit about that. I'll talk you through the process, but I myself have had issues with trying to import videos today. I haven't got to the bottom of it. As always, if anybody knows me from these sessions, I like to work live on the show and show you really how I would overcome issues if and when I come across them. So I don't really like that. It might sound like an excuse, and probably half is and half isn't. But I don't really like to show you the polished end result, because when we're dealing with computers and when we're working online, we're always going to come across barriers. We're always going to come across issues that we may or may not have come across before. So I really like to be quite open with you guys when I come across those, and I'm not afraid to show you where I've got stuck. Sometimes I don't know the answer, and I'll show you the process of how I would go about looking for the answer. Sometimes I will find the answer, sometimes I won't. And for this issue here, important video, I do not have the answer yet, but I will show you the process, and it might be something to do with my setup that doesn't allow me to link a video, but if you follow the process, it might work for you. It's very, very straightforward, but I just really can't understand how that doesn't work at the minute. But we'll talk you through that in a little bit later. All right then. Okay, so let's have a quick look at our forms here, right? So we have 2 forms available for you guys to fill in. And we would really urge you to fill them in, because in order for us to put on these sessions, we get funding through our partners at the National Lottery, and we need to demonstrate to them that we are reaching out to the people that we say we are. So if you could complete our enrollment form, which is available on our presentation, which is the link of which is on our YouTube channel, you'll be presented with a little form like this. If you could just fill in your basic information, the bits that you're not sure on, don't worry, and send it to us via our social media, or you could send it straight to me at Leon. I have to double check that one actually. Leon at MediaSavvy CIC. Let's have a quick look. Leon at MediaSavvyCIC.org.uk, I believe. I'm going to quickly make a note of that. I've got a couple of different emails, and I'll just need to double check that I'm giving you the right one, but I think it is. If not, you can also send it through our social media as well. Right, okie doke. Where else are we at today? So yeah, that's our enrollment form. Please fill that in. Very important. And also at the end of the session, we have a survey. Okay, the survey is in fact made from Google Forms, which we will be focusing our session on today. Now, this form is a basic form, which is branded with our nice logo here. Again, I need to sort that out. Just making a quick note here. This is set up for our storyboard taster session, but it's exactly the same form. So please fill this in, and we will we'll amend this before the session ends today. Just make a little note in my notebook there. But this survey has been created through with Google Forms through Google Forms. It's very, very simple to use, and we're going to show you how to create this today, or create something very similar. But your feedback is really, really important to us. So if you could fill in this form at the end of the session, basic information there, how you thought the session was, that would really, really help us with our future sessions. Okay, so I'm going to close that down for now. I'm going to go on to our next page, and this is what we're going to do today. So we're going to look at finishing our where we left off last week in Google Slides. And then we're going to look at creating several forms in Google Forms, and how to share them with other people, and what the benefits of using Google Forms are. And then we're going to look at 2 activities today. So we've got 2 really exciting activities set up for you. We've got one to create a professional looking request form for our upcycling company that we created the other week. And we want to include our company branding, which we designed a couple of weeks ago. We want to include a title and description of the survey that we're carrying out, and we also want to use varied questions and answers, okay? And this will give you a good overview on how Google Forms works and the benefits of using it, okay? The second activity we're going to look at is a little bit more exciting. It's probably something you could use at home, or especially if you're communicating with family members and friends online. It's how to create a family quiz online, okay? And I'm going to show you, I came across this the other week, how to add point scoring to each question that's answered, how to give feedback to your to the people responding to your form, so they can see how many points they've got at the end of the quiz, and setting up multiple choice answers, so they can choose what they think is the right answer out of a bunch for a question. Okay, so we're going to look at that as well. Right, okay, then let's go back a little bit. So last week, as mentioned before, we did our upcycling video, our upcycling presentation, okay? And I'm just going to delete this for a minute, because this is what I'm going to show you very shortly. But this is what the slideshow looked like. I'm just going to go down here. I was testing something earlier and it didn't work, so I'm going to delete that. This is our slides presentation on how this company, Upcycle Limited, works. So I'm going to press present so I can show you guys, and then I'm just going to click to move on to each slide. So that's the first introduction slide. Then we had a little slide transition where it rotates to slide 1, and then we had a bit of an animation going on with some of the text there. Slide 2, slide 3, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's what we did there. Let's go back up a minute. Now, what else I would like to show you quickly is, remember last week we looked at how to change the background, and it's quite easy to do there by just clicking on the background there and choosing the color. But also, if we go to where is it now, view, theme builder, this is where we can change the theme of our individual presentation. So we created this from scratch last week. We changed the color of the slide here, and let's change this, say for example, to a nice red, and this changes it's like a master slideshow that has all of the formats set up with your logo, with your text and everything else like that, that will apply to your presentation. Okay, so if I just get rid of that for a minute, you can easily edit your the look and feel of your slideshow by going into view theme builder and editing the text style. For example, you can change that. You can change the size of the text. You can give it a bold headings, things like that, and all that should update on your slides, on your title slides and things like that. It's a bit like your presets in Google Documents. One thing that we ran out of time for last week was how to insert audio. So inserting audio is very, very similar to using Microsoft Word, where you just click File, Insert, and then you select what you want to insert, and then audio is the third one down. Now I've downloaded some free royalty-free audio, which which is here in my Google Drive account, but I'm going to show you how I did it from scratch. Okay, how I searched the file and how I downloaded it and then how I re-uploaded it, just to kind of jog your memory on how we done the same thing with images last week. Okay, if you remember the layout of Google Slides as well, we have our title at the top, we have our various slides along the left hand side, and then we have, if you can see the slide here, it's highlighted with the little the outline on it. This is the actual slide that one's previewing there, as you can see. Okay, and then we have our various different controls and things up here. When it comes to presenting the finished presentation, you just click the present button and then you can go through each one. When you want to come out of that, you can just press escape. Escape is on the top left hand corner of your keyboard. Just quickly show you where it is for those of you not too sure where that is. So if I can zoom in on this image, maybe, or maybe not. Here we go. Right, so there's your escape button there. Top left hand corner of your keyboard. If you press that, you'll come out of the presentation. Okay. So to insert, or to first of all, to search for audio, my first point of call or port of call is Google, obviously. So what I would do is I would type in royalty-free audio. And what that means is it means that you don't have to pay for it, okay? And you won't get into trouble for using somebody else's audio files that you don't have permission to use, okay? So I used this website here. I clicked on it, and if you look down here, there are hundreds and hundreds of different audio files. I think I used this one. Okay, but there are many other royalty-free music and sounds. Okay, and basically, what it is a directory of all these different creators have uploaded some music that people can use for presentations. It can use for videos. You could use for music production and things like that. And all you need to do is attribute that artist. And just reference where you've got that music from, and you can use it for free. So in order to do that, guys, you just search for or listen or preview the music that you might find interesting. So let's just sample that one for a minute. You can see the little pause button. If we press that, you can sample different things. This one I'm quite drawn to for the colours. Okay, and then this one, what's this? And as you can see on the right hand side here, we've got the duration of that clip. Okay, so what I did, let's try this one. I clicked to download. And here it's giving you the instructions. Okay, now this is a free license, and this is the one I used. Okay, and it can't be used for these purposes. And then there's a pro license that you can pay for. Okay, but I didn't do that. I just I'm using a free license, and I just attribute copy this link here and attribute that to the music, or to wherever the music's going to be placed on our presentation. So all I'm going to do is copy that. I'm going to download that file, and as you can see, it's downloading into me onto my downloads folder on my computer. I'm going to close that, and then we're going to go and locate that file. Before we do that, actually, I've copied, change that to audio. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert some text. And if you look here, there's a text box. If you click that once and create your little text box there by clicking and dragging. And then I'm going to press Control and V, and that is the link that I need to have next to the audio file, just so I'm abiding by the rules of the copyright rules that is attached to that video. Okay, so there's the link, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and locate that file that we've downloaded onto our computer. So we click the Explorer button at the bottom, click on our downloads. It's that folder there, it's that file there that we downloaded. Okay, and there it's there. And if I double click on it, and let's listen to it with oh, we can't use that. Let's have a see what else we can use to listen to it. And that's the music. Okay, now what we need to do with this file, we need to take it to Google Drive. So if you remember, Google Drive is kind of your file explorer, a bit like on your, if you're on a Microsoft computer. This is the Microsoft file explorer, where you have the destinations of your on your computer, the destination files. These are the individual files, and these are the kind of the folders. Okay, so in Google Drive we have something very, very similar, and you have your destinations, the different sections to your account, and then the different files. Now what we need to do is we need to go to session 4 for this example, and then we need to open up our folder in our downloads folder, which is on our computer. I'm just going to make that smaller a little bit, and I'm going to click on that file that we just downloaded. Okay, I'm going to click on it, I'm going to hold on it, and I'm going to drag it over into our session 4 folder. And then what happens is it uploads that file to our Google Drive account. Okay, so what we've done, guys, is we've found we went onto a website, found an appropriate file that we like. We've previewed it, we like it, we're happy with it. We've downloaded it onto our computer, and then what we're doing is we're then taking that file and putting it onto our Google Drive account. Okay, and that's what we've done there. And there you can see one upload complete. So it's called Creative Minds. Let's double click on that. It should come up with a preview. Of course, there would be a problem with it, wouldn't there? Because nothing's as straightforward. Let's try. Oh, it's not Creative Mind. Sorry, it was Little Idea, wasn't it? That's my fault. So we're uploading that now. Let's see if that's going to play for us. Hopefully it does. What I have found this morning when prepping for these sessions is that it does take a while for the file that you upload to kind of get processed in order to preview it and attach it to your presentation. So we might have an issue with that, and we might have to revisit that a little bit later. But the process is very simple. You've downloaded the file, you upload it to your Google Drive account, and then if you go into your presentation, you go File, Insert Audio, and then we're looking for the audio file that we've uploaded. You click on it and click Select, and it puts this little button here, and you can position that button wherever you want on your slide. Okay, and you've got the little control bar that sticks out, and then you can click on it to choose what you want, or to control it. Basically, you press play and reduce the volume and everything else like that. Now you get this format options that comes on with this button. Okay, and what I haven't explored this fully, but the top bit is pretty cool. So if I take this out, if I put this on the first page, for example, put it down there, you can get this to play automatically. So for example, I'm just going to reduce my volume down a little bit because it's a bit loud. But when we want to play this, because we've put because we've put this on automatic, this button, for it to play automatically, when we present it, this audio file should play automatically. And let's just give that a go. So present. There you go. Okay, so the good thing about that, guys, is that it gives your presentation a little bit more of a professional, more exciting looking. Obviously, audio can. Let's get rid of this. This isn't. Audio files, depending on what you're using them and how you're using them, can generate a certain mood. So that can really tie in with the messages that you're trying to convey in your presentation. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what other options are available with our audio button here. So you can put it on a loop. So obviously the file, if you click on it, you can see the file or the tune lasts for 2 minutes 49 seconds. If we put it on a loop, it'll just loop round and round and round, so that could form your background music. If you noticed before, when I went on to the presentation, so I'm just going to turn my volume down a little bit more and present that again. It's going to come on automatically, which it does, which is great. But the thing is, when we click onto the next slide, the music stops. So if we wanted that to carry on throughout the presentation, all we need to do is uncheck this stop on slide change. Okay, so if you uncheck that, remember we need to select the audio button, give that a whirl again, present, come on automatically, click in, there you go, the music stayed on. So that's pretty cool. Right, now the exact same process should happen with including audio, video to your slides. Okay, however, I have come up against problems with this when I've prepped for today's session. So all you should have to do is go File, Insert Video, and I'm going to go through this process at the threat of it not working. I don't think it's going to work because I've tried it several times, but I do urge you to try it yourself, because they might have something set up on my computer that I haven't identified yet, which is the cause of the problem. All right, and then you just bear in mind, you need to download the video that you would like. So let's type in royalty-free video, press enter, and choose this here, and then these here, we've got a load of different videos, okay, that we can use. Let's see, let's have a look at this one. This one looks quite nice. And if this is just on the website, so this is a different website to our audio audio that we downloaded. We click on it, and this is what the video looks like. Okay, so it's a nice slow flyover. Okay, now what we can do is we can download it. If we download it to, say, full HD or HD quality, I'm going to download it to HD quality just because it will download quicker. Click free download, and then obviously you've got this little section here, and again it's the same kind of process, guys. You're attributing Tom, this guy who's created that video, to that video. So when you're creating the video and putting it on your slideshow, you need to copy this and put it onto your slideshow. So I'm going to do that now. I'll maybe change the layout of this and put a title in there. That. Okay, I'm doing that for a minute. Inserting a video. Change the text size because it's too big to 40. I'll get rid of this, and I'm going to create another little text box. I'm going to paste in Control and V, video by Tom Fisk from Pixels, and then that'll go next to the video that we're going to put in. Okay, so I've downloaded that video by clicking the download button, choosing the resolution that I wanted, and there it's sitting in my download section of my computer. So if I click on my File Explorer, I go to my downloads, and the file is called Pixels Video 141. So Pixels Video 141, and then there's the rest of the name there. I'm going to click on that, go to my Google Drive folder for session 4, and then I'm going to drag that video, put it into my Google Drive. It's going to take a minute to upload because I think it's 16 megabytes, and it needs to process the video as well before we can upload it, or before we can link it to our slides. These are ones that I've uploaded earlier, and these are ones I've had issues with, but I'm just going to show you the process. It's probably not going to work, but this is a process. You go insert, video, and then you're going to choose where you want to search for this video. Now, you do have options here. You can search on YouTube. So you might have found, say, a demonstration of how to make an omelette, for example. You could type that into YouTube, and then you could link your file to YouTube, link that video to YouTube, or you can link it directly to your to the file that you've uploaded. Okay, so I'm going to click this burning charcoal, which isn't the one that I've just uploaded. As you can see, this hasn't got a preview at the minute, so I presume it hasn't been finished, hasn't been processed in order to be used in Google Drive. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to select it, and it should bring in that video. Okay, and it's brought it in, and however, you can see there's an unable to play video because it's got an error. That's the process, guys. I'm not sure what the error is, and I can't figure out why. But that's a process. So I think you'll have a bit more success than I will. And I'll get back to you next week. Put a little note. Video on Google Slides. And that's how you upload a video, okay, and link it to your Google Slides. Please give it a go, though. Don't be deterred because I haven't had it much success with it. We'll return after our halfway through break and see if that file that we've uploaded just now works. In fact, we can try it now. Let's give it a go. Again, got the same problem. I'm not too sure why. Okay, so I'll have to look into that for you guys next week and figure out why it's not worked. Alternatively, if you've got any suggestions on why that's not working, please give me a shout. Okay, so that's the end of last session. Really, that's where we're up to. So we're like kind of 50% through or 80% through the last section on Google Slides. And we need to figure out how to link video, and I really do think you'll probably have more success. I'm not too sure why it's not working from my end. I am signed in on multiple Google accounts, so that might have an impact on linking that file to my Google Slides document. But give it a go, guys, and let me know how you get on. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a survey in Google Forms, which is a completely different application, and it's an application where we can make surveys, okay, and we can make them whichever way we want. We might have a survey about a community group that is baking cakes, and you want to send a message out to all the people in the community group what kind of cakes they would like baking for the bake sale, for example. And you could gather all that information and find out what the most popular cakes could be, for example. So it's a really useful application to use, and it's so easy. It's easier than linking videos to Google Slides. All right, so that's what we're going to look at now. Also, guys, I've just got a little reminder here for myself more than anything is we've got the last session of Google Drive coming up next week, next Thursday, and then after that we're looking for some more ideas on what you guys would like to see in our future courses. Okay, so if you've got any ideas or any interests that you would like us to explore over a few weeks, we can compile some sessions, we can do some research, compile some basic sessions in those areas that you're interested in, and we'll put those on the Thursday from 1 to 3. Okay, so any suggestions, please send them across, because we really want to try and engage you guys and really want to get deliver what you guys are after. Okay, so we're going to create this form now. Okay, this is activity 1. So we're going to create a professional looking collection request form for our Upcycle Limited company that we created. The form needs to include the company branding, which we designed last week. It needs to include a title and varied questions and types. Now, I did do one earlier, and I'm going to quickly show you it, and then we're going to do it together. Okay, and let me just see if I can find it. Forms. Collection request form. Okay, open this. This is what I created earlier. Okay, so this is what we're going to create now. We're going to create a form, and it's going to have a title. It's going to have some instructions. It's going to have different sections to it, and we're going to gather people's basic information. Now, this is going to be a request form that looks like this to people who are going to fill it in. So it's got the title up there. It's going to have some personal information there that allows a customer for our company to type in the info here and arrange a collection for us to go out there and collect some unwanted furniture that they don't want. Our company, remember, is a company that would go collect the furniture, bring it back and recycle it, and that is what we are looking to do here. We're looking to gather that information and allow our customers, or allow people who have got unwanted furniture that they would like to donate to us so we can upcycle it. We provide them that service and that facility. Okay, so we've got the details of the collection, what furniture or materials would you like us to collect, the date which we would would be convenient for us to collect from, the time, and then you could submit it. Okay, and we're going to create that now. So what we need to do is, as always, we need to start in Google Drive, and I'll just type in Google Drive so you can see what it looks like when you start. In 15 minutes, guys, we're going to have a little break. So at 1 o'clock we're going to break, 2 o'clock we're going to break for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to resume. Okay, just to let you know. So this is what Google Drive looks like. It might not have these files in there. In fact, it most certainly won't. But when you have signed up to Google Drive and Google Drive, yeah, you'll have this will be blank, and it might have 1 or 2 files. These are the individual files. This is the locations on your account that you can find your files. At the top here, you've got a little button where it allows you to create new documents. So if you click that button and click Google Forms, it takes you to this section. This is Google Forms, and this is how we create our file, our surveys, our forms that we might want to share with other people to get their feedback. Okay, and as you can see, it's already set up with the first question and a title. As always in Google Drive, on Google Drive applications, you've got the name of the document in the top left hand corner. So I'll call this Upcycling Limited Furniture Collection Form, and that will automatically save. Along here we've got the questions that we're going to be adding to in a minute, and these are the responses. So if we go back to this is our new form. If we go back to the one that I made before, as you can see in the responses section, there's 3 responses, and I just kind of fill these in just to demonstrate to you what that looks like. Okay, so we've got a summary of what the responses are. We know we've got 3 responses, and these are the 3 individuals that have filled in the form. We've got the different names of their names and house numbers, where they live, postcodes, etc., etc., the collection dates that they want, and everything else. Now under here, this is a summary. We have the questions that we asked them, and here are their responses, and then we can look at the individual respondents. So the respondents would be the people filling in the form. So as you can see, Fred, he filled it in. He lives at 34, whatever the house number is, 34 in Sunderland. That's his postcode. This is all just made up. And then he's filled in here that he's got an old wardrobe he wants us to collect on the 26th of June 2021. That's a time slot that's convenient for him. Okay, so now it's really easy for Fred to fill in because it's got that information there. We can tell Fred what information we want, and that's what he's filled in, and then we get this information back, which is really useful. We could print this out, or we could even just keep it on our laptops or tablets, and we know then, right, Fred wants this collecting on the 26th of June, so we can then start scheduling in our collections. So as you can see, that's quite useful. So what we're going to do now is create our form and just talk you through the rest of the layout. Questions, these are ones that we're going to make up. These are the responses that I've showed you some examples of, and then we've got a preview of what this would look like if somebody was filling it in. You can click that little I button, and that's what it would look like at the minute. And what it does, guys, what I'll do is I'll open this in another window to save confusion. So this is what it would look like, okay, when we're filling it in. This is what it would look like to the person filling in the form, and this is what it looks like when we're creating it. Now when we click the preview, that little I button there, it opens it up into a new tab, and this is what we call this a tab. Okay, so we can't edit the questions, it's just we can just submit and play around with the form. Okay, I'm gonna cancel that, I'm gonna get rid of that, leave that, and then we've got some settings, and then we can send that to individuals if we've got email addresses and things like that. Down here is the actual form that we are creating, and then along here is the tools that we're going to use to create that form. So as you can see, I've typed in the title, and what it's done is it's automatically recognized that that's a title, and it's just copied that title straight into there. So I didn't even need to type that in. We're going to put a little description in there. So it can be a description or it can be an instruction. So I'm going to write, please complete this form to book in a collection. Okay, and that's the first question. Now, this box here, like I said, it's the first question. You can type in your question, okay, and then you can add an image if you wanted to, and these are the various options that you would want to, or that you might want to offer the person filling in the form, and that's part of a multiple choice selection or answers. Okay, if you click on the little drop down button, you've got loads of other options here. Okay, so but it's quite smart in the way that it's set up. So you can choose from the drop down to what exactly you want them to input. So you might want them to add a date or a time, or a short answer or a long answer or whatever, or you can just type in what the question is. So the first question I would want to know is, who are you? So let's put a name, person's name, and it's automatically selected a short answer for us there. Okay, and this is the area in which the person will fill in their text. And if we go to preview, name, your answer. Okay, and let's say yes, we do want that as a required field, so we click that and turn that on. And what will happen is, if we go to the preview, it'll have a little required star there, and it won't allow you to complete that form unless you've typed in the answer. Okay, which is quite useful. For example, if you're when we complete this form, we might want contact information, so we can confirm that booking. And if the people don't submit that, then we might want to have those as required fields, so they can't submit the form, because it's pointless in this scenario. It's pointless having them complete the form if we're not able to contact them. Okay, and then we've got duplicate, delete, so on and so forth. Okay, we want to ask another question now, so I'm going to click this to add another question, and we want to ask them their address. Okay, so I'm going to say house number, and I'm breaking it down to the house number just to make it a little bit more easier for the form. House number, and then I'm going to add another one, street name, street or road maybe, and then we'll have a postcode, so we've got name, house number, postcode, address, and we'll probably want an email, and we probably want a telephone number. Okay, and the last Okay, guys, much apologies. We've had a little glitch with our internet, and it stopped working for a little bit, but we're back online now, so not to worry. Okay, so this is where we're at in creating our Google form, and what we were about to touch on was creating sections. Okay, so we've created our basic information. We've created a section for the basic information of the people arranging a furniture collection, and we're going to add the section in here. Okay, so we're going to call this your details. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a title, because that was part of the things that one of the it was one of the requirements for our little activity there. If we just have a quick look, create a professional collection request form, including company branding, title, varied questions. Okay, so we've got the questions in there. What we need to do is add the title. Okay, so we've added our title, and what we can do here, if you click on these 6 little dots, we can move that about. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to get rid of this first section because we don't need it. Bear with me 1 minute. Get rid of this first section, and then I'm going to move my title. Can I do that? No, I can't. So keep that first section there because that's what the intro section of our survey. Get rid of this, and that will be classed as a title. We'll get rid of this title here. We don't need that anymore. And let's preview that and see what happens. So Upcycling Limited furniture collection form, click next, and then this is the details. Okay, and this is what we need to obtain. Okay, but we don't want to submit the form yet, so we'll leave that for now, and we're going to create a third section. Okay, and the third section is going to go at the bottom. So we're going to move the section by clicking the 3 little dots, click on it, click move section, and we're going to drag section 3 to the bottom. I'm going to delete that section for a minute because I think I'm having a few issues. Undo that. What's going on here? Undo that. Details. Click on the bottom there. Then maybe insert a new section. That's it. So at the bottom of that question, if you click that section button, add section, it will create a section after that question. Okay. The next thing we want to do is type in collection as our title for the next section. Then please complete to arrange a convenient time, date and time for us to collect. And I spotted a spelling mistake up here, so let's sort that out. As you can see, it's underlined the spelling mistake. If we right click on it, maybe we can change it. No, we can't. Details, get rid of that. There you go. So in this section, we want to add another question, and we want to ask them a date. Date of collection, preferred of collection. Okay, and as you can see, I haven't clicked on the options of the types of questions. It's automatically identified that we're asking for a date, and it's given us that kind of predefined format for an answer. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like now. So you scroll to the top, click on the preview, and click through the options here. Next, oh, we need to put something in there, so I'll put the name in there. There you go. That's just preset for us. So we put a little calendar, then we can search through the calendar to create that create that entry for the collection date. So let's say we want the collection date to be the 1st of July, and then it's automatically telling us to submit because that's the end of the form so far, but we want to add a few more things to that. Okay guys, we rolled over a little bit to 2:05. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little break for 10 minutes. So if we all resume back at 2:15, we'll complete this form, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we complete the entire form, and I'll show you what the responses look like, and then we'll get on and make our little family quiz that you guys could probably create and send out to all your friends and family, and have a bit of fun with using the forms. Alright, so we're going to come back at 2:15 in 10 minutes time. Okay, guys, welcome back to our fourth session of Google Drive, and what we're looking at today is how to create some interactive forms in Google Forms. Okay, so before we had our little break, we looked at creating a simple form for a furniture recycling company, and this form would go out to their customers, if you like, who would like some of their old furniture to be recycled, and it's just a kind of a collection form. Okay, so we've got the basic information that we've inputted there, and then the collection information that we require from that company in order to arrange the collection. So in Google Forms, we create the title, and we've used sections and little descriptions of what we want the viewer or the customer to see. We've created the basic questions that allows the user, the customer, to input their information, and we've got the collection information. Up here we've got the responses. Now we haven't completed this form yet, so we don't have any responses at the minute. We've got a preview button which we keep on flicking to so we can see what the form looks like as we're building it, and it creates it in a new tab, which I'm just closing down now. Cancel. And then we have our send function once it's complete. Okay, we've got the title up there, and we're going to start completing it now. We've got a couple of more questions to add here, and then we're going to see how it works. We also need to add our logo in here, which we haven't done yet, and then we're going to see how it would look if we were sending it out to people and how we would send it out to people. Once we've completed this, then we're going to move on to something a little bit more fun, and we're going to create a little quiz, a little family quiz that you guys you can have access to. We'll create it. If you've got any questions that you would like asked in that quiz, if you know the answer, please let us know in our chat there, and I'll put that into the family quiz, and then we can I'll make that survey available for you that you can download or you can have access to, and then send the links off to people if you want to send them the survey so they can interact with your quiz that we're going to create next. Okay, so we're at this collection section of this survey. So we're asking them their preferred date of collection, and we would need to know that, and then we'll add another question in there, a preferred time slot. I've got an issue spelling preferred today. Let's put another R in there, PREFERRED, time slot. And then I'm going to do 2-hour increments starting from 8 o'clock. So I'm going to say 8:00 to 12 o'clock. And then I'm going to do from 12 o'clock to 1400, 2 o'clock, from 1400 to 1600, 4 o'clock. And let's say that's the time slots, because by the time you've collected the furniture, you'll need to bring it back to the depot and pack it all away. So that we've got 3 time slots that we're going to offer the customer, and we're going to click that as a required field. Now, let's say, for example, you would want to put this question above that one. All you do is click the little dots at the top. It's like kind of a handle. Click on it, hold it, and then you can move that to wherever you want to put it. Okay, so that's that. And if we go to the top and click on the little I button and preview it, we'll just cycle through this form to make sure we've got everything that we need. So we've got a name, and that's a required field, and we know that because it's got a little asterisk, a red asterisk there. So we're going to put a name in there, and let's just call the person Jan, and then click all the way through there. Let's put date in there because we know it's a required, and with that's a required, and then you can submit it. And I will submit it now just to show you the responses section now. So I've submitted that form. Your response has been submitted. Now if we close that for a minute, leave that, close this. As you can see now, we have one response which we've just completed, okay? And there you can see there's a summary of the response, the questions, and the individual, just individual information, okay? And that is just like what we created, what I created before the session to show you what we were going to do. Now there's also a facility here where we can print the responses, we can delete the response. Now we'll probably need to do that for this one because it's just a test. And then you can create a spreadsheet from the responses. And I'm going to do that now. I've never used this before, but let's have a look, see what happens. So it's created a nice table for you, and it's got a timestamp of when that form was created, who it was, and the details that they've input, and their the preferred date of collection, and so on and so forth. Now this is really useful for when we want to organize our deliveries, and I'll show you that. I'll show you that now actually. So let's do another preview of this, and let's create a different person here. I'm just going to quickly go through this and create a few more delivery days, okay? And as you can see, that's quickly automatically updated. There's Asifa I've just imported in there as just a pretend person, and the preferred delivery date and the collection, okay? I'm going to create another two. Preview that again, and this is just when this is a process that you go through when you're just checking your form to make sure it works. You're going to go to preview, you're going to enter a few bits of information, make sure you get everything right the way you want it. You won't need to do that when it comes to sharing that form, and I'll show you how to do that next. This is just for you testing to make sure you're capturing the information that you need. So let's call the next person Glenn. I'm just going to quickly cycle through here. Just have a quick look at the date. So it's 6th of the 5th. I'll put that the 6th, 5th as well. And I'm going to put that there. I'm going to submit that. Go back to here. Okay, and I'm going to do one last one just to quickly show you something. And I'll call this person Sally. And we're going to put a postcode in there of NE34 8FG. These aren't required fields, and they should be, so we'll need to change that. And we're going to go, what was it, 5th? I'm going to do another 5th here. And I'm going to put a time slot on that and click submit. The reason why I wanted to do a few more, as you can see, I've put a postcode in there instead of, and the others haven't. So you can see how valuable the information is. Now, if you're creating a form like this, you would be careful about the required fields that you want to put in, but you don't want to give, you want to make sure that you're getting the information that you want. So you really need the house number and postcode so you can organize the collection in this case. whereas it was quite easy for me to bypass all that and just put a collection date and a collection time. But those dates and times aren't very useful if we don't know where we're collecting them from. So you've got to be mindful of what required fields you need. It would be quite tempting to say that you want them all as required fields, but just bear in mind that if you've got a lengthy form, people might be off put by that, so just try and get that balance right. Okay, so anyway, we've got 4 people who've responded, we've got the times in which they were responded, and we've got the preferred date of collection. Now what we can do here, and I'm doing this on the fly, is, let's see, if we go to the data, we can sort the date. Let's have a look. Sorry, for a minute. Create a filter maybe. So we can create a filter, and we can choose all the deliveries that are on the 5th of the 6th, for example, and click OK. I'll change, take that out, click OK, and that'll filter out all of the information that we don't need, and this will give us all the deliveries, or all the collections, sorry, that are on the same day, and that then allows us to schedule in what we would want, how we would go about collecting this bit of the furniture from these people. So you can see how this form can be linked to this Google Sheet quite easily. Okay, and the filter, to do that filter, I'll just go back a little bit. You just click on that. This is in Google Sheets now. You click on the column, click on data, and then click on create filter. Okay, and you've got a little drop down button here, and you can select exactly what you want to keep and what you don't want to see. And then if you want to go back to normal, you can click the options here, and it'll bring them all up. Okay, and all this is saved on your Google Drive account. So that is the form. We've finished the form, but one thing that we didn't do was add our branding, our company branding to this form. Now, as you can see, if we go to our Media Savvy form, not this one, sorry. We not get rid of that. This form, this survey. This was done in Google Forms, as you can see. We've got some required fields in there: email, name, telephone number. These are the required fields. We've got our logo in here, and we've got a different background color to tie in with our branding, and that's quite important when you've got your own business. So what we're going to try and do now is do a little bit of that to this form that we've created. So we're going to add an image, and then we're going to look on our Google Drive account, and we're going to see if we can find our logo. And there's our upcycling logo there, and we're going to insert that to our form. Okay, and I'm going to move that, see if I can move that to the top. Let's preview that and see what that looks like. Okay, we'd probably want this further up. Let's see how we would go about doing that. So add a video, so we can add a video as well, but we'll not do that just yet. Add an image. Import questions. Okay. I'll hover over text, show. So we can center this image. And let's just see if I include another section. Add that image, insert that. No, that doesn't work. That won't work. Right. I think I'm being a bit silly here. Let's have a look. So these are the settings for this form. Okay, so we can limit it one response to one person, so on and so forth. What I'm looking for is how to put our logo in here, and I thought it would be in the settings, but I think it's going to be in the customize theme section, and there it is there. Okay, so we can, as you can see on our media savvy, we have a header here, and this is what we term the image or text that sits at the top of a document. Now we can add images to the document, as you can see, but this doesn't sit at the top when we look at the preview, and that's not what we want. We might want to have an image in there, and that's how we would insert that, but to insert the image as a header, we would need to customize it. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go to the customize button, which is this little palette, click on it, click choose image, and then we're going to try and find our logo. Okay, let's have a look. So we're going to upload a logo, our logo, and there it's there. Now this is a little bit different to add in an image from the side panel. So if you add an image from the side panel, you can search on your Google Drive account, okay, or you can upload it, or you can get it from various other means. However, in the customize section here, we can't do that. We can only upload, or we can choose from a selection that they have here. Okay, they've got a load of images here that we could probably use. That might fit the bill of what we're trying to achieve, but if we want our own logo, we need to upload it. And if we browse our files on our computer, on our download section, a few weeks ago we downloaded our own logo, and there it is there. So I'm going to open that. I'm going to upload it here, and what I'll do, it can only be a certain size because it needs to sit in the header section of the document. So I'm going to just capture that section there. Now if we wanted this to be smaller, we would have to resize the logo, maybe make it smaller so it would fit in the header, and maybe we'll look at doing that a little bit later. But for now, I'm just going to crop that logo. I'm going to save it, and as you can see now, it's changed. I'm just going to change that for a minute. There's our crop of the of our logo. Okay. Now, if we want to change the theme, the color theme to this, we can. All we need to do is click on the color and choose what color we want. So let's say if it's going to be a recycling company, let's say we're going to have a green color, for example. Let's say we're going to add green, and we're going to add 3 different variations of green. So we're going to go back to there. We're going to have a lime green, and then we're going to have another green, which maybe is a bit darker. Okay, and that's our color theme. We can change our background color to white, dark green, or lighter, and then we can change the font style as well. So if you wanted it to be something aimed at children, or you wanted it to be a bit more informal, you can change the font style there. Now, what I want to quickly show you now is how we would resize this. Okay, so if we quickly go back to our Google Drive account, this is how I would go about doing it. I would go to a new, I'll go to our Google Drive account. I would go to Drive. I would find our logo, and there it is there, the upcycling logo. And we would need to edit that to a specific size. I would open a new tab and I would Google what size that header would be. So I'd say Google Forms header, image header, dimensions, and here it tells you exactly the size that that header needs to be. Okay, so it's 1600 by 400 px or pixels. Okay, so if we go to our upcycling logo, if we go to new file, and we're going to make a copy of that, and I'm going to say Google Forms. Okay, I'm going to click OK. It's created a copy of that, and then we're going to change the document size. So to do that, if we scroll down to the bottom and go to page setup, we'll click the custom button, and we'll change that to pixels, and it was 1600 by 400. Click apply, and that's resized them and really squashed it. And really, that's probably not ideal. So what I'll do is I'll copy this, I'll cut it, remove it, change that custom again, 1600 by 400 pixels, that is. Click apply, and what I've done, I've cut that logo. I'm going to paste it in there now, so it didn't get stretched or manipulated when the document page or the documents got resized. And I've pasted it back in by pressing Ctrl and V. And what I'm going to do now is just zoom out a little bit by pressing Ctrl and Alt. If I can find keyboard. So here's the control button. That's the control button there, and that's Alt. So if you press Control and Alt together, and then you press the plus, get rid of that, plus or minus, so you can zoom in or zoom out of your image. Okay, get rid of that because that's the original logo. And I'm going to resize this so it fits our page. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the text out of the way a little bit. I'm going to position this where we want it, and I'm not going to do anything more drastic to it than you can do whatever you like, but I'm going to just increase the text size a little bit to maybe 120. Okay, and I'm just going to centralize that just to purely show you how you go about it. Obviously there's a few little tweaks we need to do that to make it look a bit better. Then we need to download that image, and we're going to download it to PNG. Okay, and then we're going to go back to our form. I'm going to go back to our customs theme. I'm going to delete that original logo that we uploaded, and I'm going to choose another one. I'm going to upload a new image. I'm going to upload the new one that I've downloaded onto my computer, and that should fit now perfectly, and there it does. Obviously the colours clash with the green theme that we've got going on, but you can change that by just changing the colour there. Okay, but there's a colour theme there, and there we have it. Okay, we'll close that down. Let's quickly have a look, shall we? This is what it's going to look like. There's our logo, there's our text. We've changed the text, and there you go. That's how you create your form. Okay. And I'm sure you guys can come up with something a little bit more creative than that, but that's how you create your form. Now we've got 20 minutes, guys. Any questions that you've got, if you want me to go over anything, please let me know. Where we're at now. Yeah, just give us a shout if there's anything that you want me to go over. What we're going to do now is we're going to close these down. I'm going to close that down. Close that Google search. To keep that open. Close that down. We're going to close this. Close that. Close that. That. And that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create our quiz, our family quiz, because that's the next activity that we said we're going to look at doing. So if you go to our presentation, zoom down, we've done this. We created a professional looking. This is one that we've just completed professional looking collection request form. We've included our company branding, we've got a title and description and varied questions and answers, which we did. So the next activity we're going to do is we're going to do an online family quiz, and we need to include point scoring, user feedback, multiple choice answers, and how to send the quiz to people. Okay, that's what I didn't show you on the last one, but that's not a problem because I'll show you that now. So we need to go to our form, our Google Drive. You need to select a new form, and there's templates here as well. There's blank quizzes, there's forms and templates. I haven't looked at these, so we're going to look at these together now. Let's have a look at the templates and see what there is. So you've got contact information forms, that's already set up. RSVP, we've got invites, t-shirts, sign up, party invite. We've got the lot here. So just like what was it before that we created? Just like that that holiday slideshow that we created from a template. We have lots and lots of different templates here. We've got assessments, worksheets, all different kinds of things here. Okay, but what I would like to quickly look at is the quiz section, a blank quiz. Let's see what this looks like. I've never clicked on this before. Right, okay, I think we're back online. Just bear with me a minute. Let's just quickly check our connection, make sure everyone's connection's all right. Okay, that's great. Right, so let's take a tour through this. Okay, learn about quizzes in Google Forms, create and grade quizzes with Google Forms in just a few steps. Let's have a quick look at this then. So choose a variety of different questions. Yeah, we can key answers, set point values and correct answers for each question, automatic feedback for correction. This is exactly what we want. And responses. Grade provide individualized feedback or batch grade responses. Okay, so this is exactly what we want. What's today's date? Right, well, let's put the 14th of nice easy one. 14th of the 3rd, 1985. 17th of the 6th, 2021. 25th of 12th, 2021. Okay. So the key answer, let's have a look then. We want 1 point for this answer, and we want the correct answer to be today's date, which will be the 17th of the 6th, 2021. I'm going to click save. So let's see how that pans out and if we do our preview. So what's today's date? I'm going to click the wrong one. Submit. It's 1 point. Submit. View score. What's today's date? That's the incorrect answer. Okay, yeah, that's great. So if we go back and go back to this, feedback for correct answer is that. Yeah, that's great. That's the right answer. So that is the correct answer. Done. Let's see what that looks like. Just having a few issues with our internet connection dropping in and out, guys, so just bear with us a minute. So what we'll need is a person's name, name or team name, because you might have a team of people or different households. Okay, and then that'll be the first section. We'll delete that. We'll add a section in there. I'll drag that into the second section. Okay, and this section can be team name. Quickly preview that. Enter the answer. Right, okay, that's good. And then let's have the questions. I'll get rid of this for a minute. Insert quiz questions here. Then you might have a description, and then let's see if we can find some top general knowledge quiz questions and answers. It's pointless having the questions if you don't have the answers. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. Right, so we've got 10 questions here, and we've got the answers. That's great. So I'm going to select all these, see if we can just copy and paste that directly into our no, that's not going to work, but we'll use that. I was going to try and copy that into the directly into our form and hopefully create all 10 questions, but that didn't work. So what we're going to questions in the first question that we've put in, and I'm going to delete or cut all the rest and leave the first question in. So what's capital Chili's stay in there. I'm clicking in front of number 2 and dragging down to the bottom, and I'm going to press Control and X to leave that first question. I'm going to add another question in there. I'm going to Control and V to paste that question in there, and so on and so forth. Okay, add another question in there. What's the other one? Alberta is a province of which country? We'll copy that. We'll paste that in there. And we'll do the same for how many countries still have shilling as the currency. We'll copy that, put that in there, and so on and so forth. Let's do 5 more. Which is the only vowel not used in the US state? What is the largest country in the world? That's a good one. Let's put that in. Let's say 8, and then you can add 2 yourselves. Where would you find the River Thames? That's an easy one. What is the hottest continent on Earth? What's the longest river in the world? Copy that, put that in there, change that number to 6, change that number to 7, and then I'm going to put one more in. What is the hottest continent on Earth? Copy that, and then here we go. So that's 8 questions, okay, and we're going to have multiple choices for each one. So look, here we can see it's given us, this is how clever this Google Forms is, it's given us our suggested correct answer. So we can add that in, and then we can add another option, okay. So we've added Santiago in. Let's think of some others. Paris, okay, London, and let's think of somewhere else. Let's write South American cities. And let's say we're going to have Sao Paulo, sorry, from Brazil, just to confuse matters, okay? And then we need to key in the answers. So let's say they get 1 point for each right answer. Now we know that Santiago is the right one, okay? And we're going to give them some feedback of the correct answer, okay? We know the correct answer is that. We could also add a video in there. Again, it's not one thing I haven't done, but let's see what we can find about Santiago, Chile. Now we're searching on YouTube at the minute for a video. So I'm going to try and insert this as kind of an answer. Okay, so what we're doing now, guys, I've just come across this, is I'm going to preview it, put in our team name. Okay, and then here we've got our questions. So if I click, what is the capital of Chile? I click Paris by accident, or not by accident, but I think it's Paris. And I click submit. I'm going to view my score, and it's giving me the correct answer as Santiago, Chile, because that's what we've asked it to do. We haven't scored any points for that first question, but I've linked a video to the answer. So we know it's Santiago, and then we've got a link or a little video. Okay, welcome back, guys. Scarfell Pike is the one of them in one of the tallest mountains in the UK. I think that's how you spell it. Scarfell, double L, Scar. Pike, and it's not Snowdonia, it is Snowdon. Okay, and we want to key in the answer. It's Ben Nevis, which is the highest. We're going to give that 1 point, and then let's add some answers to the feedback. Okay, so we can link it to probably Ben Nevis. We can link it to a web page. which we're going to do now. And I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to put that in our feedback there. And then we're going to test it. So let's go to the top. Okay, we fill in the form. If you were going to fill it in, you'd fill it in. What's a capital? Let's say Santiago. And what is the biggest mountain in Britain? Let's say I've selected that. Click submit. I want to view my score, and then I'm going to say, right, okay, yes, that's 1 point out of 1 because it's Chile. What is the highest mountain? It's Ben Nevis. Okay, that's the correct answer there. Okay, so let's go back, quickly look at the answers. Because if you notice, when you click the right answer, you probably also useful to get that link as well. And for Ben Nevis, let's just double check our link. Click save. Quickly preview that. And London. Submit that. View score. So Santiago was right. Snowdon is the incorrect answer. It's Ben Nevis. Okay, so we seem to have a little issue with the add answers feedback section. So let's go to this question, and we want to key answers. What is the capital of Chile? Feedback for incorrect answer, yes. Can we have feedback for the correct answer as well? Yes, we can. So if we go to that, we'll copy that. So what I've done there, guys, is we had the feedback for the incorrect answer, which was this video, but I would like it also to have that feedback for the correct answer, just in case, just to give people a bit more information. So the feedback for the correct answer, if you click on the little pen, that'll give you the video link. But then we want feedback for the correct answer as well. So we're going to click on that. We're going to click on this URL, and then we're going to select that and save that. So if we go back to our preview, click next again just to get through that. Let's say we click Santiago, where we selected the right one the last time. Click submit, view score. Santiago still is correct. We've got our point, and we've also got that feedback, which is great. Now, guys, I just realised we've run over a bit, but we've also had a few little glitches with our internet connection this week. So I'm just going to go over for another 10 minutes. I'm going to tweak this form a little bit. I'll give you and make it available for you guys, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so apologies for our internet connection, but I'm going to run over a little bit so to try and make up for it. So I'm just going to get rid of some of these preview forms. Okay, I'm going to change this. That's it. That's great. So Ben Nevis is the highest mountain. Yes, that's great. Let's see the feedback for the answers, for the correct answers and the incorrect answers. So there's the information there on a new tab. We've typed in Ben Nevis, and we've got this link to this website. I'll press Ctrl and C to copy it. I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to link that to, and maybe say info for about Ben Nevis. I'm going to add that, and I'm going to click save. Now let's see what happens if I preview that. Next. Let's see. It's going to click that. Just submit that. View score. correct answer is Ben Nevis, and then feedback, info about Ben Nevis. We'll click that, and it's going to take us to our information about Ben Nevis, which is great, really, really good. So this form could be absolutely anything. It could be a qualities and diversity quiz that we might be doing at work for our staff members. It could be taking an order for Friday fish and chip day at work, where you've got a little form that you send out to everybody and you gather the information. It could be an order form for a business or anything like that. So this is how really quick and easy it is to navigate. And a lot of the time I like to show you things that I'm not necessarily familiar with, in a way, just to demonstrate how easy it is to navigate through. And the things that I don't know, I'll just do a quick Google search at the same time, just so you can see how you could kind of figure out, because not all the time do we know the answers, but with technology advancing the way it is, it's quite easy for us to find the answers, and quite easy for us to navigate around things like Google Forms if you're not familiar with it. So that's Google Forms, guys. I'm not going to go into any more detail with let's do two more actually. I'll just change me go back a minute, and we've got two multiple choice questions here. Let's see if we can add another option here for our answers. So we can have drop downs here. So what is the province? What Alberta is a province of which country? Okay, I don't know the answer to that. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna paste it into Google, and Google should be able to tell me the answer. Take that 4 out because it'll probably confuse a search. Canada. There we are. Right. So Canada is going to be one of our answers. Okay, we'll go back to here. Put Canada in there. What else could we put in? Another country, Brazil. Another country, the US. And then one last one, Albania. Okay. And then if we preview this, now this, instead of having multiple choice like we have in the first two questions, we'll have drop down options. So if I preview it, quickly scroll through there, and there you go. There's the different options. Click on that. Now, obviously we didn't assign feedback or didn't assign which was the correct answer, but that's one way. That's a different way that you can provide answers in your forms. One last one, and let's see what other options we can do. We've got multiple choice, we've got check boxes, which is similar to multiple choice, but let's say I'm going to change this question. I'm going to call it I'm going to say what are the main ingredients of a cake. So this is where we might need more than one answer. So we'll click the check boxes. We'll say flour, eggs, sugar, butter, and then let's put a red herring in there, oats maybe, put a couple of more things in there. Could the main ingredients, water maybe. So if we preview this now, let's set that up to key answer. Let's say flour, eggs, sugar, butter are the winning answers. We're going to have 4 points for this one, and we're going to give the feedback, and the feedback is going to be incorrect answers, and we're going to link it to making a cake, a video. We're going to search for a video that shows you how to make a cake, and I'm going to select that. I'm going to click on that, copy that link, and And then for the correct answers, I'm also going to link it to that. And we also need to check on that key answers. And these are the answers that we want to be the winning answers. Okay, and then we're going to click done at the bottom. We're going to preview it. Next. We're going to go here. Right, so there's our drop down for the question before, and here's our multiple choice. So I'm going to click water, I'm going to click oats, and I'm going to click butter and sugar. So I'm going to put 4 options in there. Okay, I'm going to submit that, view me score, and there we go. We've got the link for the video. We've got 2 right answers and 2 wrong answers, and then the correct answers here. Now, for the one final thing before we finish for the day, we need to look at, which I'm not too sure how to do, but we're going to have a look. Key answers. Now, what we need to try and have a look at is to see if there is a way of limiting ourselves to only 4 boxes to tick. Let's have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so obviously you can select them all there and you'll probably get all the right answers, which is not what we want to do. Okay, so we need to think about how we would only be able to limit our the people filling in the form to only 4 answers. And that is something I'm going to write down in my little notebook. And I'm going to check that out for you for next week, because I'm not too sure. Okay, so hopefully guys, today's session has given you a little introduction into Google Forms and how we can use it for fun, i.e. this little quiz that we're making, or for something a little bit more work related, where we create a form for a business. For example, when we created our form for our site and collections form for our pretend company. Okay, I'm just going to try and find it for you so we can give you a quick preview. Okay, so we've done that. We've showed you how to make it more professional by uploading company branding, how to change the presentation of that survey so it ties in with your branding, what the responses look like. So we've got the summary of all the responses, the questions that's been asked, and the individual responses. And then we've also showed you how you can bring that in to a spreadsheet, so you can see the all the information and all the data, and how you can manage that in your spreadsheet by adding filters. Okay. One other thing that we did today was we looked at, let's go back, we looked at how to import audio and video files into Google Slides. Now the video section, we weren't very well, I wasn't very good at showing you how to do that, because the example I showed you didn't work. I think you will have more of a chance, a better chance than I did. I'm not too. I've got a couple of ideas on why it would. Okay, we've got a little bit more of a glitch there going on, guys. Just bear with us. Okay, so what I want to do is quickly show you one last thing before we go today. I want to show you how to share your forms. It's very easy. All you do when you're finished is click send. Then from there you can write the email of the people you want to send that to. If you want to add collaborators to people, i.e. people who you want to develop that survey with, you would just click that there, and you would type in the name of that person in there. or the email address and link it to them that way. What else do I need to show you quickly? Send it also. So this is if you want to send the survey as an email. If you click this button here, this little link button, if you copy this link or click shorten first and copy that link, if you copy it, you can send that link to somebody if you can on your phone through an app like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or something like that, or you can copy it into an email. So you can write an email to people saying, "Hi guys, we've created this summer family quiz for family quiz. Please fill it in." And you can paste that link into the email, and they can copy and click on that link and it'll take them to the family quiz. Okay, so that's how you share it. It's very, very simple. Everything you need to do to share that form or that quiz or whatever it is you're doing can be found in the send section there. All right, that was one last thing I wanted to show you because I just realized that I didn't show you how to do it. Have a look on that link. The presentation is up there on our YouTube channel, and it's got some more information about scam awareness. And one other thing that I found,
writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help.
Week is just 5 tips for Google Forms. Okay, and there's a link on there and on that presentation that we've got here. Okay, to help you out with Google Forms in a bit more, show you a bit more detail, some of the key things that can be used for. We've got some the Voluntary Organisation Network Northeast. I've found a really cool website here. You might have come across it before, but there's ways to find out how you can get involved in the community through volunteering. Have a look on there if you're interested. It's getting sunny now, so there might be some cool volunteering opportunities there. As you can see there's operations managers and things like that needed. These are all volunteering opportunities. So have a quick look on them, and there's also jobs as well. Okay, so if you're interested in that, have a look. And one last thing, it's really important that we stay connected, and obviously with lockdown easing a little bit, we have found this really cool website called Meetup, and it's not loading at the minute, but if we load it again, here we go. It's this is groups in Newcastle, but you can search for groups in, say, Sunderland. That's where we are based, and it'll show you all the different groups that are registered on this website. So the Central Park Socially Distanced Walking for over 50s, online social games nights, again, social chats with friends. There's loads and loads of social and community based. There's online things here, and I think there's more face-to-face things I've seen as well. So if you want to stay connected, you want to make some new friends, you want to get involved in any of that, meetup.com. You can search it within your area, different groups that might have some similar interests to you. Okay, I must apologise. All these are in New York. Unless you want to jump on a plane to do these social games nights in New York, I would suggest you use a search, which I didn't do there. Click on that. Here we go. We've got filmmaking socials here in Sunderland. A coffee social for single females. It's in any distance, let's say 10 miles. It's probably a little bit better. Here we go. Tynemouth Market and Seafront Walk. We've got Fish Quay Walks in Whitley Bay. Let's reduce that a little bit further down. We've got escape rooms in Newcastle. So have a look, guys. There might be some interesting things there for you. All right, but definitely gone over our time today. It's now nearly just after 20 past. We had a really good, informative session today. We've covered a lot of information. Please feel free to go back and listen to this video again and follow some of the tips there. Don't forget to fill in our enrollment form. It's really important for us because it allows us to show our funders that we've got the people engaging in our sessions, and also we've got a survey there which we created ourselves in Google Forms, and it's just to get your feedback on today's session. All right, guys. But until next week, our last week on Google Drive, stay safe, and we will see you next week, next Thursday at 1 o'clock. Okay. Thank you very much, and have a good